Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. So today we have a range of Star Wars news, and we're gonna start with the Ahsoka show. August is edging nearer the big summer Star Wars release of 2023, and there's been a lot of discussion about Sabine Wren and some changes to Star Wars Rebels. And I don't mean physical ones, I'm talking about the fact they've hinted she might be Force sensitive, the fact that she calls Ahsoka Master, the fact she's listening to Ezra's holo message about what it takes to be a Jedi, and the fact she uses Ezra's lightsaber against Shin on 2 separate occasions. Now at first, I thought there's a very good chance Dave Filoni is just trying to throw us off. I thought this scene may have been taken out of context. He wants the fandom up in arms to have this conversation and for all of us to go, what the hell is going on? I've even got a theory that Sabine is calling Ahsoka Master ironically, and they cut it just before they start laughing. This sort of thing is perfect for a trailer to throw us off. But someone noted that in the extended footage shown at Star Wars Celebration back in April, Sabine tries using the Force to grab a cup, and tries is the key word. This again could be just put in to throw us off. There is no proof she can use Force pull, but this hand that looks like it belongs to Natasha Liu Bordizzo is clearly trying to use the Force here. But Rebels fans have been saying for years, despite the late Kanan Jarrus literally telling Sabine that she is not Force sensitive, there have been clues. And I've got to admit, despite possible fan theories and speculation, I do find it a bit out of left field, but I want to let Dave Filoni cook, as they say. I want to wait and see and give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to see where he takes this, and what he does with this, because it might not be as simple as it seems. Also, keep in mind, Shin says to Sabine in their duel, "You have no power." I don't think this is just intimidation. She might sense there is no Force sensitivity there. Sabine might train like a Force sensitive, but that doesn't mean she is one. She might just be trying to become proficient with Ezra's lightsaber, while taking on their philosophies but not being a fully fledged Jedi Knight. They might be combining the physicality with martial arts and not necessarily focusing on the Force. In this way, Ahsoka could be a master in this sense, but not in the Jedi Master sense, but the Force pull is convincing. Let's wait and see. What do you guys think? How would you feel if Sabine is Force sensitive? Does it make sense? And what path do you want her to go down? What do you think Dave Filoni is doing here? Sabine is already very skilled with lightsabers. Could the reason she's fighting Shin be to get a lightsaber? Because some fans have noted it resembles that of Kanan. Did she somehow get it and bleed it? And so now, my dear friends, let's move on to our next subject. Many Star Wars projects that focus on post-Order 66 seem to focus on Inquisitors, many who are former Jedi who decided to turn to the dark side and work for the Empire instead of being killed. They were given that choice by Darth Vader, but ultimately their story was one of tragedy because they were disposable. We've seen many in Star Wars Rebels, the comics, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Fallen Order, and now there is a new book by Delilah S. Dawson titled Inquisitor: Rise of the Red Blade. Delilah's book is set between 22 BBY and 14 BBY and focuses on Padawan Iskata Karis, who dedicated her life to traveling the galaxy alongside her master, learning the ways of the Force to become a good Jedi. But despite her dedication, she noticed the cracks that were showing within the Jedi Order, and after her master is suddenly killed, she begins asking questions that other Jedi Masters consider dangerous. After years pass and the Clone Wars endure, her faith in the Jedi wanes, and she goes down a dark path after Order 66. So you might be wondering, why is this relevant? Because in a recent interview, Delilah Dawson mentioned that there were certain Inquisitors she could not include in her book, because she was told by Lucasfilm they're gonna show up in other content soon. Who could she be talking about? This could be in The Bad Batch Season 3, Tales of the Jedi Season 2, or maybe Marok, the mysterious Inquisitor who's still alive by the time of the Ahsoka show. Now Deborah Chow, after Obi-Wan Kenobi, did say they might be working on a spin-off to that show, and a lot of fans assumed, could this be about Reva? Or maybe given the fact we're getting more flashbacks to Order 66 in various shows, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, or maybe in the Ahsoka show we might go back to Malachor in a flashback or the World Between Worlds. In either case, we are getting more of this post-Great Jedi Purge content, and I really love the Inquisitors, some more than others. For example, the Grand Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels was awesome. I prefer him in animation to Kenobi. There is a lot in this time period to explore, and there are Inquisitors from the comics who've never made it on screen. Could we see some of these in upcoming shows? I mean, heck, we had an intimidating, unnamed Inquisitor in Tales of the Jedi Season 1, the one Ahsoka took out with ease. And then of course there is Baylan and Shin, who are not Inquisitors in the conventional sense, but they are Jedi hunters for Thrawn, not the Empire. And there is so much unknown about their pasts. We know Baylan survived Order 66, and I am currently working on a theory video expanding on what Baylan might be doing. But do you want to see more Inquisitors? Let me know down below. And now a big spoiler warning for Dawson's book. In the story, Iskat becomes an Inquisitor, and she's given a harrowing ultimatum by the Grand Inquisitor. Here is the quote from Delilah. And in writing about Iskat and her dissatisfaction with the Jedi Order, Dawson says she definitely felt shades of what I'm seeing online from generations younger than mine, that they have little hope for the future and little say in how their world can be saved. Rebellion feels like a natural eventuality. Of course, for Iskat, rebellion against the Jedi Order involves a darker turn. She can't imagine leaving, so she is given a choice: join the Inquisitorius or die. And it's interesting how in this book rebellion's been turned on its head. It's interesting that Iskat's decision to join the Inquisitorius is driven by her disapproval of the Jedi ways, and that as such, the Inquisitor's ultimatum becomes a simple choice. What happens to someone when they're brought up to become a peacekeeper, and suddenly they're thrust into a war they were never prepared to fight? And in many ways, this echoes Anakin's frustration, the frustration of Barriss Offee, even in some ways Ahsoka, even though she didn't turn to the dark side, but she walked away, and so for Iskat, this was the right decision. But there is a tragic nature to all of this. One we see in the second sister, from Fallen Order. Her final words, "Avenge us," knowing she never really had a choice. It was that or death. And so finally, my dear friends, John Boyega's finally changed his tune, and at long last he admits he's open to return to Star Wars, saying his previous comments denouncing the studio were in reaction to the Rise of Skywalker, but not reflective of future projects. And with rumours he's already been approached for the Shameen Obaid-Chinoy film with Rey, this could mean something very important, that the return of Finn could be imminent. This comes exclusively from Tech Radar. John Boyega says he's open to appearing in the next Star Wars film. In a press tour for his Netflix movie They Cloned Tyrone, Boyega confirmed he hasn't fully closed the door on returning to Lucasfilm for another Star Wars feature, but he suggested it would have to be the right time for his character. Boyega's Star Wars future has been a hot topic of discussion for a long time. He was not happy with the way Finn and Rose were sidelined after Episode 8. And now he says this. Speaking about his previous comments, he says that was a few years ago, so they were the subject of that particular project, but I'm open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable, have a great cast attached, and a terrific director, so yeah, I'm open to all opportunities. This comes as speculation swells that Finn is going to make a return alongside Daisy Ridley's Rey in the estimated 2026 film. We've heard Jeff Snyder say this, LRM Online said this, and now John Boyega himself is not saying the same things he was saying just a year ago, so let's hope for more Finn if that film does come to fruition, and hopefully Finn is done right. But share your thoughts on this and everything we spoke about in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.